Everybody, welcome. It's wonderful to have you here. It's Friday afternoon. We're going live on a number of different platforms. We got the Insta up here, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn over here. So nice to have you with us. We generally reserve this time in Friday afternoons for our Scoop School community. So if you're part of our Scoop School community, we welcome you. We meet every Friday afternoon at lunchtime here, and we make ice cream, talk about the ice cream business. It's a great little group. Would encourage you to attend. $50 a month. Stay as long as you want. You do get access to all of the previous recordings. So you can go to the website, scoopschool.com, and join us. Join us every Friday afternoon. Bit of ice cream making, bit of jocularity, some business chit chat. Very, very good. And while we wait for a few other people to jump on, I do want to, can everyone hear me okay, by the way? Give me a thumbs up or a bit of a chat to let me know that you can hear me okay. Running a new mic system today. Very nice. And then also wanted to talk about Cone Con, the biggest ice cream and frozen dessert event in the country, happening 7th, 8th, 9th of November in Fort Worth, Texas. 102 trade show booths, 3-day. It's pretty awesome. So in any case, conecon.org, if you want to get a good look on that. Thank you for the thumbs up. Conecon.org, 7th, 8th, 9th of November, Fort Worth, Texas. Honestly, if you want to invest in your business or kind of take your hopes and dreams of ice cream to the next level, that's probably one of the best investments you will make is going to that show. Conecon.org. We'll be there. Madeline will be there. Scoop School will be there. It's just a great, great convention. Okay, let's cut all of the middleman jargon. Let's cut all of the fluff out. We wanted to talk today about Poffertjes. What was that I heard you say, Steve? This is what we do when we do our YouTube videos. What was that, Steve? What do we hear you say? And then we'd cut and go, Poffertjes, Steve, Poffertjes. Anyway, Poffertjes are mini Dutch pancakes. Basically, it's a mini Dutch pancake. You can look up the kind of history of Poffertjes. But basically, our history of Poffertjes was that we had frozen custard stores in Australia. And like any ice cream frozen dessert store, you know, things start to taper off at the end of the season. And you start thinking, well, what are we going to do during the winter to keep sales going? Maybe you trade all the way through. Maybe you don't. By the way, say hello if you're live. I'd love to hear where you're from. Anyway, then in Australia and pretty well in a lot of areas around the world, these mini Dutch pancakes are very, very popular. And so cafes and coffee shops were doing it in Australia. So we thought, let's buy a Poffertje grill and let's start kind of making these mini Dutch pancakes. We'll pair them with our ice cream. And we'll do that through to spring, and then we'll discontinue that. We'll just leave it for a kind of like a winter menu. And so we bought a little grill. We started making Poffertjes. We put our ice cream with it. People went nutso for it, to the point where when we went to discontinue it in the springtime, we literally had demonstrations at the front of the store. Keep our Poffertjes. Keep our Poffertjes. So we decided to keep it going. And honestly, they are a great source of revenue. They're very unique. They're easy to make. And they're very, very kind of bedazzling. I always talk about the theater of ice cream. And so this is a real theater type process. So let's kind of flip down to the camera here and kind of show you what we have going here. Madeline's behind the she's our executive producer for today's broadcast. She did remind me, don't just do some crazy stuff up here because we still have Insta going up here. So don't think that these people can't see you when you kind of do all of this stuff off camera, because you can see me. So anyway, so this is what we have going for us. We'll tell you a few different business models that we can use it in, but generally we have a 25 dimple grill here, and you can kind of see it's a regular flat top grill. It takes a 115 power, plugs in here, and there's 15 dimples on there. It's got an on-off switch. It's got a thermostat. We generally keep that at around about 180 degrees Celsius. And then we have a timer on the front. And we'll show you as we start making them, you don't really use the timer a whole lot. You'll just get so used to making them. So that's what we have in the package. Now, we actually sell these packages as part of the process of us, helping ice cream shops become successful. A lot of people said, well, what did you guys do in Australia to get kind of sales during the wintertime? We said Poffertjes. They said, Poffer what? I said Poffertjes. And when we realized that there were really no easily accessible and supported Poffertje programs, we started one. tinypancakes.com, where you get all the details. We can talk about that later. But anyway, we have these grills made to our specifications, and this is very similar to the grill that we had. Now, with the grill, you'll need a Poffertje mix. So this is basically our Poffertje mix. It's a powdered mix. You simply just add water. You don't need to add anything else. I will tell you that we add a little vanilla, and you can add other things. So 4th of July and other events, you can actually add a bakery emulsion. We have another business called Waffle Cone Zone that makes flavors for waffle cones. These work really, really well in Poffertjes. So that's strawberry, blueberry, and red velvet. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Waffleconezone.com. We won't put them in today, but you can add other stuff to the mix. We've got a guy in Canada that actually adds Parmesan cheese to his mix and makes these kind of savory Poffertjes, which are pretty cool. He puts bacon crumbles on them. It's pretty awesome. So anyway, what you do is you take the mix, right? You add water to it to make kind of like a thick pancake batter. I've already filled a couple of bottles up. It's basically a thick pancake batter. Again, we put a little vanilla in here. And what you do is you'll use squeeze bottles. Squeeze bottles are the best way to do it. You do need to leave a little bit of space in the top because the mix actually has a rising agent in it. And so it will rise. Don't fill it to the top. It'll actually come out through the spout. So I like to use these kind of flexible buckets. And so once I've made some mix, I just fill these squeeze bottles up like this to about 2/3. And then put the lid on and we're kind of ready to go. So also in prep, you'll need some powdered sugar. We call this the money powder. We'll talk about that in a minute. You'll need some sort of toppings. So we've got some toppings to the side here, which we'll chit-chat about. When we do the market, so when we open up our ice cream shop here, we will do a Poffertje program. But when we do the markets, my 2 kids that are home do the markets close to us here in Wildwood, and they also do fresh strawberries. So every Friday, we do some prep. This is probably one of the greatest little inventions you'll ever want to see. It's a strawberry cutter. So we just basically cut the strawberries, put it in here, drop this in. It's pretty awesome. It makes for very easy strawberry prep. Just don't cut your finger off. The blades are sharp. So once you've got, and you can put anything in. We generally, as our menu, Madeline, would you mind grabbing one of the menu boards? I can kind of show people our menu board. But we just offer the fresh strawberries. We do a chocolate topping. We do a Nutella. And then we do a maple syrup, which is kind of the most popular toppings that we do. So that's kind of what we have to prep. And this is really all you need, whether you're doing the markets, whether you have a food truck, or whether you're adding this to your ice cream store. You just need the grill. You need your squeeze bottles of mix and your toppings. And let's face it, a lot of you, when you're in the store, you'll be basically doing this. You'll have all of this stuff anyway. So let's get the grill going. So again, what we have is our 25 dimple grill. It's been warming up here, sitting at about 180. It's a non-stick Teflon surface. So you do need to spray each time you apply the mix. And here's our squeeze bottle right here, squeeze bottle of our mix. This mix will stay good for 24 hours. So you can't kind of keep these bottles and kind of use them day after day after day. You're kind of making what you're preparing now for the next 24 hours. So once you've got that spray in the grill, then it's really just a matter of squeezing the mix into the dimples. And this is kind of where the theater is. When we do the markets, we have customers that do the markets, they have cafes. They always have the grill out somewhere close so customers can see this process. It's pretty awesome. I think it's on the top of the top of the shelf, Matt, that one as you walk in the door. Now, again, these run, I mean, they're a mini Dutch pancake, but they run very similar to a regular pancake, just a much smaller dimple. So they'll rise a little bit here. They'll start to get some bubbles on them. You do want to make sure that they're not touching because it makes it harder to flip. Thank you, Matt. That's awesome. So what I've got now is you'll put these on for about 1.5 minutes. They will stay on this side, and then you'll basically flip them, and they'll stay on for another 30 seconds, right? So 1.5 minutes on this side. You can set the timer. Most people don't. And then the best way to flip these is you take a skewer, and I almost put it in almost horizontally. I put my finger on the top here, and then I basically just put it in on one of the sides until it hits the surface of the grill, and then I lift and flip. Lift and flip. Look at that. And this is the kind of stuff that you want to do in front of customers. They love to see this kind of theater of making Poffertjes. Now, on this side, you only need to go for 30 seconds. So often, by the time you flip the whole tray, the ones at the front are ready to go. We used to sell a 50 dimple and a 100 dimple, but we found that people would buy just 2 of them side by side. And if they had an event, they would go and take one grill and leave one in the store. So basically what we do now is we discount the second grill. So you can still buy them in groups of 50, but it's 225 grills. We are basically at the markets, we're using just one of these fry trays. And then what you're doing is basically just putting the skewer back in and just grabbing each poff. We generally do 10 to a plate. Ask questions as we go along. So we got 10 to a plate there, which is a pretty good amount. Now remember, we're going to put some topping on here and some whipped cream. So there's our first plates. Now, because there's only 25 to each grill, you kind of need to stage the second one, or buy, if you've got that kind of volume, you'll buy a second grill. And you can do a small plate. I'll show you what a plate of 5 looks like, but a plate of 10 is usually a nice amount that people can, share. Maybe this is a kid's serve 5. So you've got your fresh puffs here. And what you'll do here is basically, this is where the magic happens. You'll put the money powder on. One of my daughters calls this the money powder. So this is basically just a, I've got a fan going here. It's blowing them all everywhere. But powdered sugar, confectioner's sugar, you'll put that on. Every time someone walks past the line where we're making them, we put the money powder on, a bit more money powder, because they go, oh, what's that? Just draws people in. And then you can do your topping. So very traditionally, we just use, like a standard topping would be your maple syrup or a breakfast syrup. And then we would put some, at the markets at least, we put just some whipped cream on the side. And that, ladies and gentlemen, we are selling at the markets or in the store environment for about $6. The cost on a plate of these undressed, so a plate of 10 undressed, if you're using the mix we give you, is about 25 cents. By the time you put some dressing on them, they're about 45 cents, including everything. And then we sell them for $6. Now, a little bit more exotic. At the markets, what we do is we do strawberries and Nutella. And I'll just show you one of the menu boards we use. Basically, we have the original, which is $6, and then we do additional toppings. So every squirt of Nutella or strawberries is an extra $1. So on average, most of our orders are about $7. So strawberries and Nutella, very, very popular. So there's a bit of strawberry action. some Nutella. We thin the Nutella out with a little bit of palm oil or canola oil, vegetable oil, our whipped cream. So this is what we would sell at the markets, at least, for $7. And again, that 45 to 50 cents includes the cost of strawberries. Now, depending where you get them from, obviously. In the store, when we did these in the store, we would actually put a scoop of ice cream on there and not the whipped cream. So it's really easy to make them. It's very, very inexpensive. Let's get another batch on the boil here. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Madeline's kind of keeping an eye on it. Honestly, let me give you a couple of examples of what's kind of revenue you can get. So we ourselves have a market that we do here. It's the Wildwood City Market, and it's not a very busy market. There's about 15 vendors there every Saturday morning. And honestly, you know, conservatively, on a Saturday morning between 8 o'clock and 12 o'clock, our kids will basically make anywhere between $300 and $500 in these Poffertjes sales every Saturday morning. It's kind of their little business that they run. I have another customer in different markets that actually do 2 markets every Saturday morning, and they bring in $2,000 at each location. So with 2 locations, they got $4,000 that they're making on a Saturday morning. Now that's gross sales. With these pancakes, we have people in ice cream shops that literally are adding $300, $400, $500, $600 a week with Poffertjes. So, you know, again, they're really easy to make. They're very dynamic. People love seeing them. In fact, in our store in Australia, we had the grill lined up right in front of a sneeze guard as people lined up to get ice cream. And as they were watching them I'd always tell the employee that's on the Poff grill, I'd say, hey, anytime someone starts to line up, you need to start putting some on, even if we don't have any orders. So we start to put them on. And again, for about 20 to 25 cents, it's marketing money. If people don't order them, then, you know, that's fine. However, often you'll have people say, oh, they look pretty good. Can you put some on for me? And we'd say, these are for you. Got him. So, look, I try to be unbiased. We sell the kits, but honestly, they are a really, really good complement to an existing business. They can run businesses by themselves. Really, really good. Madeline, do we have any questions?
Miss Mindy is asking. Sorry, I'm late. What are you making?
Miss Mindy, we are making Poffertjes, mini Dutch pancakes here. We made a little batter first off, put them in these squeeze bottles, put them on this specialty grill, lifted them off. Now my whipped cream is kind of fallen a little bit, but this is the standard. So this is just maple syrup and whipped cream. If you're doing these in the store, you do them with powdered sugar and ice cream. This is a Nutella and strawberries, fresh strawberries. We'd sell this for about $7 in our store or in the market. We have some more coming here. Let's do a chocolate. So again, we'll take these off the grill. They only stay on for about a minute, and you'll generally do 10 to a plate. We'll move these guys out of the way. Often we get asked, how long do they last? Can you kind of keep them warm somewhere? They're kind of like most pancakes in that, you know, they don't store well. Although we did have some customers during COVID that would actually make them fresh at the market, and people couldn't consume them at the market. So they would actually put them in a box. They call them a Poff box. And they'd sell them like 20 or 30 to a box, and people would go home and reheat them. But, you know, they're kind of best the way they are. We'll put some money powder on them here. Money powder. Bring in the money. And this, we have just regular chocolate syrup. They look so good. And again, in your store, you might put a scoop of ice cream. At the markets, we'll just put some whipped cream here. 1 fork or 2. And Bob's your uncle. We do have some caramel over here. I don't have it in a generic bottle. But we offer, when we do the markets, we offer caramel, chocolate, Nutella, and fresh strawberries with whipped cream. So what we're doing for this weekend, and I know, again, a lot of ice cream shops, let's go horizontal, Mad. Let's go horizontal. I know a lot of ice cream shops are kind of really considering now, hey, what are we doing for the winter menu? What are some of the things that we can do to kind of keep sales going? So in this package that I feel like a tele-evangelist or a tele-sales person, and I guess this is kind of, but I'm just explaining to you the package. So what we've got is the Poffertjes grill, and with this package, or the starter package we call them, you get the grill, you get 1 box of mix, and that 1 box of mix is 6 5-pound bags. So there's 6 5-pound bags in a box. That's enough to make $1,300 worth of product. You'll get a squeeze bottle, you get some skewers. We sometimes will put in some flavoring samples for you to kind of test those flavors. And we're selling that package for $795. $795 with the grill, the squeeze bottle, some things. And then also that box of mix that comes with that package is enough to basically make $1,300 in sales. So you could say it's risk-free. By the time you've sold all of the mix that we give you in the package, you've made more than what the package costs you. And then you can decide to either use your own mix. A lot of customers try and dabble with their own mix, or you can continue to order our mix. Our mix is currently $65 a box. But what we're doing today and this weekend is we are giving you a 2nd box of mix. So if you order today or through this weekend a Poffertjes starter kit, again, the grill, squeeze bottle, skewers, and a box of mix, we'll send you another box of mix. So basically, we're going to send you enough mix to make $2,600 worth of product for $795. Pretty good. Pretty good. Madeline.
Big dog. Instead of a fork, why not use a CPL toothpick?
Instead of a fork, why not use a CPL toothpick? I think that's what... Yeah, there are some places, we put a fork in them. There are some places that order either a bamboo, it looks like a little devil's, maybe that's what you're talking about. I don't know what the technical term is, but they use it's like a toothpick with a pitchfork on the end. And that's more traditional. When we did research for this business development, we went to Amsterdam, we went to every single Poffertjes pancake crepe place there was. And traditionally, I should say, they'll put a big dob of butter on these before they serve them. And we do that at the markets too. We kind of just take a little bit of butter and drop it on the top. And then we put the toppings on, the butter melts in. It gives you a nice kind of savory kind of taste to go in with the sweet. And again, traditionally, they'll give you a little kind of wooden fork. Good call, big dog. Question.
Real chaos charters us.
What are we talking about? We're talking about Poffertjes. They're mini Dutch pancakes made on a specialty grill here. It's got dimples on it. Madeline, let's go vertical again, and we'll make another batch. Again, if you want to bounce off and you want to get more details, tinypancakes.com. Tinypancakes.com is the website. Again, today and this weekend, for every kit that we sell, we're sending you a 2nd box of mix. So you get a box of mix with the kit anyway, which will make $1,300. But we're giving you a 2nd box this weekend, which will basically, you'll be able to make $2,600 worth of product with the kit, and the kit's $795. For those who have just joined us, so you spray the grill. Excuse me. You spray the grill before each one. It's a non-stick surface. You get a powdered mix, which you're just putting water in, although we always add, I didn't spray these ones at the back, although we generally add a little bit of vanilla to them. Again, I know some people add, a bit of cinnamon, a bit of nutmeg. Some people will add, make savory ones with Parmesan cheese. They'll sit on the grill for 1.5 minutes. There is a timer at the front here. I don't think you really need to use the timer all that much. I might just pitch these guys here because they're looking a little grody. And then I don't know. Madeline's giving me signals from behind the camera, and I don't know what she's. Oh, you want to take a picture of them? I know I don't want to take it, but the whipped creams all collapse. We'll make some fresh ones for pictures. When you flip your Poffertjes, you take your skewer. Blast freeze is turning back on. Take your skewer, almost horizontal on the side. Lift and flip. Lift and flip. Now, I actually back in the day, I was pretty good at the double flip. Anyone want to see the double flip? I'm not even going to wait for a response. I'm just going to say yes. So in the double flip, you're doing the same, but you're kind of going ambidextrously. So double flip, double flip. Oh, yeah, double flip. Bring it home, Steve-O. Double flip. Double flip, double flip, double flip, double flip, double flip. I was a little bit dubious about the double flip, but obviously I've still got it. So again, a minute and a half on one side, 30 seconds on the other side, and then you're taking them off. From a cost standpoint, again, naked on a tray, these are about 20 to 25 cents if you're using our mix. We kind of costed it out that way. Once you dress them up to kind of have, syrup or chocolate, Nutella, strawberries, that's about 45 to 50 cents. Your standard basically is selling just whipped cream or ice cream and topping for $6. For something extra like this, it's basically $1 for every extra topping. So once this 30 seconds is gone, we'll take our skewer. Again, we generally sell them 10 to a boat or a tray. You do want to try and not have them touch, because here I've got these two here. And that's what one tray looks like undressed. So it's a good size amount. It's enough for people to share. We always tell people, maybe we'll share. And then I'll say to people at the markets, there's going to be a fight. We've had fights out here. So why don't you just order yourself another plate? Oh, okay. Cha-ching. So again, more information, tinypancakes.com. There's videos there. There's recipes there. There's suggestions there. And again, we are giving you an extra box today and this weekend. So with the package, you usually get one box of mix. But this weekend, we are doing a second box of mix for free. So you'll be able to make, basically $2,600 worth of these puffs for the price of $795. ShamWow. Anyway, any other questions? Questioned away? Yes, Madeline. So the kit goes for $795. So we have the grill, the box, a squeeze bottle with some skewers, some flavors in there as well. Where we have the smaller bottles of flavors, we put them in, and a box of mix. That box of mix is 6 5-pound bags that look like this. So all of the instructions are on the bag, and 6 of these 5-pound bags. Again, that's what comes in that $795 package. But today and this weekend, we're giving you another box. The box has 12 months shelf life on it. It's powder, keep it in a dry, cool place out of the sun, and it'll last. So anything else, Mad? Any other comments? I don't want to keep you all day. It's a beautiful Friday afternoon, Labor Day weekend. You probably got plans. But if we don't have anything else, thanks for joining us. You can reach out to us on that website, tinypancakes.com. Again, a couple of quick plugs for those that are on. Every Friday, we meet here in our Scoop School community meeting. You can go to scoopschool.com, click on community. It's $50 a month. We make ice cream here. We do recipes. We do procedures. We talk about equipment, the business of ice cream. That's a great little group that we have joining us. We'd love for you to have us. $50 a month. You can stay as long as you want. Stay 1 month, bounce. Totally up to you. And then finally, ConeCon, the biggest ice cream and frozen desserts trade show in the country, 7th, 8th, 9th of November in Fort Worth, Texas. All of the details are on conecon.org. So 3 websites, write them down. conecon.org, scoopschool.com, and tinypancakes.com. As we always say at the end, unless we've got any last minute questions, comments, thanks for joining us, folks. Keep on scooping, and we'll see you in the funny pages. We usually dance a little bit while we check out. Don't keep me hanging here, Mad. Don't keep me hanging.